Why hello there, fellow children of the toxic forest. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the Boundless Witch. Episode 25. A strange tribal boy wants to be a robot. 13 and 17. So, which would be better at the one finishing the construction, but like, at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's more about the comfort of the bed. The comfort being over 100%, which at this point is 105, so over 100%, which allows for comfort meter to max out. That's what the furniture is mostly about, or adding value to the room. The other thing that I could do in the far future, probably not anytime soon, is have Witch practice art. She has honestly too much on her plate right now, but eventually she could practice art and become a better artist and, you know, make the rooms nicer as a consequence. But I have too much on my plate at the moment, so. Blood Rain. It's on the other map tile, so it's not my problem. But it does give me new research. Neurosis, Pulse, and Blood Rain. And speaking of research, let's switch this back to Biophyte Shaping, because that's what you guys voted on. So, switching to Shaper. Okay, this is also not my problem. This is a raid on the other map tile, and they're going to be, like, rained on and frenzied, which is hilarious. They're 14! Ah, that's too bad. They wouldn't be a terrible, joiner. You know, they're younger than Witch. Witch just recently turned 16, I think. No, not even that recent. Witch is now 16. But it's not like I'm going to be able to get over there quickly. Alright, we're getting the cotton for the parka. And then I might want a kid's parka if Green intends to live also in the cave, which I intend for Green to live also in the cave. So here's the third bedroom. And then once these bedrooms are done, we can then decide on what next type of facility to build, whether it's like dining and rec, a kitchen, etc., etc., etc. I'll be pulling on that soon. So Silver Knight's not moving in. Oh, yep. A Fluffalope is going to go try to kill this child. And they're dead. Yeah, I saw that coming. Blood Frenzy does that. Okay. Green resistance has been broken. Green will be joining next time we talk to her. Unless something crazy happens. The other thing is parka, which go make it so the Silver Knight can switch his bedroom around. And the plan is to kind of abandon this facility entirely and move everything underground. Move everything to a deeply frozen underground facility as time progresses. So what project next to build in the Witch's Way? We have rec and dining, kitchen, power grid, entity, holding cells, storage, defenses, other, viewer suggestions. So we're almost done with the 3 bedrooms that I had wanted. Oh, you know, there's actually one more thing to do, which is, I'll include move research, move hospital, or viewer suggestions. Because the research in the hospital I don't intend to have out here forever. So we're going to eventually want to move them to the mountain. So there you go. Polls up. 5 minutes on the poll. And like all the animals in this map tile have gone bad. Except for a few fluff lobes. Time to smooth some walls. He's still on work drive. And that parka is almost done. Then I'm also going to want a kid's parka for green. So I'm going to make one of those now too. What I don't have, oh no, I do. I'm going to want more gas masks as well at some point. Oh, this was... shoot. Right. You are restricted to the ranch. I'm going to keep Sun Tzu sleeping there. I think animal hauling... pet hauling really doesn't need to be in here anyway. That's just going to, like, track in filth. So I'm not even going to have them go into the deep part of the colony. Animals want to be wild anyway, so it makes more sense for them to have access to the outdoors and the like. So you have a bedroom. And they're both decent. They're about the same quality. Green has joined. Well, raffle up for green. So before we do anything else, let's do work priorities. Childcare, 1 for everyone. I don't have any prisoners, so I'm going to undo warden. Green wants to cook, so as gut-wrenching as the food that a 11 or 12-year-old will make, she will take that responsibility from Witch at this point. I won't have her do the tailoring, though, I don't think. But crafting is fine. Don't ever fish. And then schedule... You aren't a night owl, so I guess it's fine. Now, I did make, I think, a kid parka somewhere. Nope, it's still in process. Okay. And then we're going to have the bedroom for green made as well. You're attending a party? Okay. I guess. And then you should be set to avoid, so you don't end up walking into mechs. So the mechs are awake. Now if, yeah. It's like free base defense, I guess. Okay, party on. Green, your temperature allowance does allow you in here, so let's go move that bed. And then I'm going to break down all this stuff, because it's not needed. And then we'll move the light. Oh, you already have a light in your bedroom. I'll just put a light there. Bedroom's awful, but, you know, it'll be improved in time. So we'll have Witch go back to the kid parka so we don't end up with any hypothermia. I'm also going to want a gas mask at some point for green. Green has a cloth mask, which is some protection, but not a lot. But yeah, there's a long list of other things to do first, I think. And I will say, officially, we're going to work on power grid stuff. I do have a little bit of components right now. And the reason I mention this is a little bit of components that I currently have available to me will allow me to do the very basics of power grid. Just a tiny bit of power grid upgrade. But it's certainly not going to be a lot or enough long term. I recognize that. So we're going to want to make some improvements, meaning having Witch and Turtle Sandwich maybe go out and mine on another map tile once things are a little bit more secure and like settled here. I'm just waiting for that first. Another thing I'm going to need to do is to, depending on Green's needs, lesson taking, yes, we are going to need a school desk. I don't have a good schoolroom, but I'm just going to set it up here in the foyer area for lack of better zone. And yeah, I am in the process of breaking down the prison already. So get a tiny little school area set up. Yeah, as you can see, the prison's already queued to be broken. Exoticus Trader. Could be Ascension Catalyst. Sentience Catalyst. That's something to potentially buy. I do have a little bit of a nest egg of money. I'm not really sure another Pollux tree would be useful at this moment, only because we're not really fully utilizing the originals. I would need to have way more manpower to do the cleanup to make that even economically worth it. Moro, congratulations. And that didn't work. Thought I hit accept, but it was like canceled immediately. All right. Mikey, bye-bye. Sorry. Gauseed. I don't see any catalyst here. So that might be about it. That's a nice book, but I don't see that happening either. And with Mikey's departure, I'm going to uninstall the pen marker and then start sewing hue root and cotton as well, getting more for clothing. Glitter Worlds in case of bad disease. So at this point we have pretty soon I'll be able to get a vitals monitor, and we have a hospital bed of mass work quality, so I'm not too worried about diseases. Because I've been working on Silver Knight getting medical training, and they're already 6, plus preach health. So if Witch gets sick, I preach health Witch, she's fine, and if anyone else gets sick, Witch has a medical of 9, so they're fine. So I don't really see it being an issue, which is why I didn't buy it. I think we're pretty secure. So I'm still in the process of building the bedrooms. And then once the bedroom is done, I'll work on the power grid. And what I'm doing here, mining this out, is I intend to put like a chem gen in here as a power grid upgrade. And then possibly... Oh god, is this trade caravan going to go south? If it goes south, they're going to be in trouble. Possibly mining around here to put like a wind turbine farm. It really depends on how much overhead mountain is here. But I know that I'm going to be phasing out these buildings, and as I phase out these buildings, I can remove the roof and then treat this as like a wind turbine area, because that's going to be. I don't want to put a wind turbine anywhere where I can't wall, because then raiders are just going to knock it over. So, that would be a good turbine spot, I think. And yeah, I could put a chem gen in there. I'm just mining where there isn't overhead mountain. Sidewater Silver Knight. Bummer, dude. And a gift of gold. Ooh, thank you. That's quite generous. Free loot if they head south. They headed east. They were smarter than the average bear. Ooh, Sun Tzu. Oh, wait, no, that's Sun Tzu. What about the other pet? How's its training? How's Scorpio's training coming? 4/7 haul? That's really good. Solid. So which is getting the farm fully sown. Oh, God, we have so much breaking down. It's such a pain. I am absolutely going to need to go on a mining run. I just need Fangface and Silver Knight to, like, kind of settle to take care of Morrow. Because at the moment, Morrow... Floor drying and reading. Morrow's fine. I'm very happy I bought that book. I forgot that it's also a lesson. Lesson utility for Morrow. We're still waiting on that bedroom. Now, other things on this other mat top. So there's gold meteorite. There's tons of compacted machinery. There is uranium here. Uranium ore, if we wanted the uranium ore. There's an ancient danger. So there's a lot of points of interest here that I could take advantage of. But I think, at least for the sake of a power grid, my intention is to really only do compacted machinery, because that's all we really need here on the home tile. And then do more resource exploitation later on once we, once we have a little bit more time on our hands where things aren't, constantly imperiled. Colonist outsourcing. One colonist for 18 days. Okay, well, I will put it up to poll. I think, canonically, Witch would never really give up a child to adults. She doesn't trust them. So I think for that reason, I almost have to decline, because she would never really willingly say, oh, here's a child that you can, beat into submission for 18 days? So yeah, actually, I'm just gonna veto that. I don't think Witch would ever willingly give up her own people like that. Now I think about it a little bit more thoroughly. Alright, Silent Rider, I don't think I need you hauling the poo anymore. You're just tracking in more nasty. I'm going to change the zone to not help with that level of hauling. And the purpose of the chem gen is when we're like browning out, we're low on power, I can flick it on and flick it off. But I would like more renewables and more batteries for the power grid. But that's a really good fallback when things go too lean power-wise. And we have we have an occupancy check. Good. Still waiting on that bathroom though. Good lord. Another confusion. Yep. And a flu. Oh, it's witch. So, in this case, let's go ahead and do exactly what I intended. I don't have what I need for a Vitals Monitor, unfortunately. But between Silver Knight's medical tending and a Preach Health, it shouldn't be much of an issue. With just herbal meds. And I do have Nitruramine, so eventually we'll have the means to make industrial meds. But between a Preach Health and a hospital bed, again, I don't have the components for a Vitals Monitor, but between those two, I think we'll be all set. Now, the other issue that I have is Morrow needs to start cooking. We just grabbed our last meal, and Witch can't be responsible for that anymore. I love how we're just, like, forcing the entity here to just, like, deal with the fermenting poop. It's like torture. Are we good dressed up? Pretty good. Everyone's in parkas. The nudists don't wear a lot of clothing. Just the parkas. But, you know, it's what we need for this cave. No, I haven't deeply frozen this cave. Right? Because there's doors and stuff. Actually, I'm going to remove the door and see how much colder I can get it. But I think if we really want to deep freeze it, we're going to need multi-split air conditioning for the walk-in freezer and the outdoor units. And there's plenty of space here for outdoor units. So yeah, there's improvements certainly to be made to make sure that we deep freeze the cave base area. But we're 11/18. Yeah, we're fine. As long as medical tending stays up. Now, whether or not everyone starts vomiting from all the food poisoning is to be determined. Nice! 68%. That's too shy of max. Yeah, that's why I wasn't all that worried. For the glitter meds. Ooh, that's helpful. Thank you. And I still can't mark down that the bedrooms are done. Yikes. So I'm hauling some fuel to it so we can flick it on when we have brownouts. With all the cleaning that we're doing, this might be... Well, alright, I already have some zones that are oh no. I already have some zones that are slated to be cleaned of pollution. But once I see those zones cleared, I will expand those zones. Run, Silver Knight. Just go to sleep. Ah, no. Talked about vomiting with Silver Knight and then started to insult him. Strange kid. And you're insulting a bedridden witch. Called witch a brigand, slandered her sense of duty. And then Morrow's like, I've had enough of this. I'm gonna punch you. Good job, Morrow. I'm proud of you. Oh! A clean 70-10. Booyah. No, witch, get back in bed. Don't tend Fing Face. Silver Knight will. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So this is a problem which will sort itself out on its own. The only worry that I have is... Oh, no, Silent Rider's somewhere safe. Okay, so animals. You're going to be behind the walls. All of you. These animals are almost certainly going to just mash with the mechs, but I'm going to close the door so they don't come in. I'm going to close actually the outside door so they don't trip to traps. So Moro's coming to close said door, and then we're just going to shelter in place. So everyone is just going to be behind the walls until the threat clears. I do have to update the zone a little bit. So the behind the walls, because I don't want to risk anyone going to the wrong side of the wall to do like repairs or whatever, I'm going to prevent the walls on the outside to be zonable as well. So that's done. And then the animals in the mechs should just kill each other. I don't know if they're going to be able to take down a Scyther, but if they do, all the merrier for me. Hessaron's definitely going to get taken out, I think. Yep, no. That's awesome. The other thing I could do is to try to encourage the animals to take out the rest of the mech hive. And in order to do that, I just need to wall up the exits. So, Silver Knight, I'm going to unrestrict you briefly to micromanage your wall construction. Because if they could take out the mini turrets, this Inferno turret is really, really easy to take out just on my own, because I can just drill a hole through the wall. I'm within the minimum range of the Inferno turret, and the Inferno turret can't hit me, and I can hit it. Which would be ideal. So what I'm doing is I'm blocking all paths out. And I know I have to block right here for that door. I'm aware, so I'm doing that one last. Because it's also the most annoying. And then once I've done that, I think the foxes should... So Moro, get out of there. The foxes should then target the turrets, because the turrets become the only valid target they have pathing to. Let's see if that's the case. Are they going to a different door I haven't thought of? Because I can't... Oh, I can get it. Oh, I didn't wall that up correctly. Derp! There we go. No path. No, they're not. Okay, I was not expecting that. That's fine. I'll delete that one then. I guess they're not seeing these mini slugger turrets as valid targets. Now, in that case, I would want to probably either clear it out with just, like, more visitors or whatever, or wait until I have shield belts. Something like that. I'm not eager to go out there and get shot, in other words. And we have 3/4 of a year to teach Moro stuff. It's not a lot of time. Ooh, social 3. There's also probably no one doing Dark Study. We're gonna have Fang Face who's like cleaning to try to do Dark Study, because there's no reason not to have at least someone who sucks at it try, because it's at least a little bit of science, right? $47. Well, that could have been better. And all the corn up there is ready to harvest as soon as Witch is, like, recovered. So we're not... If you're worried about the amount of food that I had available to me, there's plenty left. I just need a break to be able to get it. It doesn't look like there's going to be any fox squirrels to be eaten. Oh, and unfortunately, with that wall burning, that kind of sucks, but whatever. I'm just going to stay way clear of that turret. So let's repaint the avoid zone so we don't go anywhere near there. So don't even go into this area here. Stay away. The problem is this is exactly where I wanted to build the wind turbine area. So we're going to have to kibosh that, put a hold on that as a possibility in this section until those turrets are off. Because this turret can fire here, so this is not safe to stand in. And I think I'm just going to ranch all the animals now. I don't need them, like, marching around right now. So, ranch will not include the mountain. Just put them in the ranch. And ranch will also not include that section, because there's not a bed there anymore. Oh, God. Ball concentrator, watch out! Not my fault. Yep. Yep. Okay. Silver Knight is going to go render aid. Because we don't like adults, but we aren't going to stoop to their level either, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. And I'm going to carry Natty and drop them off near the door for now. I don't really have a good spot for them. All the animals, I think, just burned up or was rotten, so it's not like a source of food. I also have no idea which way they're going to exit. It might not even be in my benefit, because these guys might exit, like, not south. But Sakura's sick, so let's do trade with Silver. Tattered clothing I'm going to get rid of. Honestly, I just might as well sell the Mastodon wool prestige robe. Like, no one uses it. It was a nice idea, but, like, it hasn't been useful. I guess that's it. Rare's illness with thrusting. A book about nymphomania. Great. And Silver, if I can get you before you have a mental break to build a bed, that would be awesome. The reason why I'm not buying components is they're very expensive and I can source them elsewhere, so I'm not considering it. Natty, I'll rescue you for rep. Psychic suppressor for pay. Suppressing... So it's a guarded suppressor, but we'd have to kill animals for it? No. We're not going to be paid to kill animals. Ooh, nasty. Well, more medical tending for you. They got basically rabies. And you are at 90%. Still don't have that bedroom. Oh my god. You know, you can go to sleep, Silver Knight. Yeah, just go to sleep. Morrow's getting heat stroke. Really? It's... Oh god, it is that hot. Why is it so hot? I know it's 3rd of August, but my goodness. Our freezer's not keeping up with temps. So I'm going to build a door here so that the corn is frozen, not refrigerated, for a little bit of extra oomph. And Witch is already immune, so I'm lowering bed rest requirements so that she can go and farm and stuff. Fang, you don't need to do dark study anymore. You're off the hook. And then, now that once Witch is fully recovered, where she doesn't have consciousness, breathing, or manipulation loss, and she's tended to the farm and stuff, I'll go to the adjacent map tile and do some mining, component mining. Or power grid bonus. Also, I'm sure you're aware, but the caravan did not exit south, so south is still dangerous. Okay, now would be a really good time to turn on that backup battery for Gen. Those batteries got way low. Ah, Scorpio can haul now. All right. Now that the threat is over, we're going to avoid. Moro's going to stay. Actually, I'm going to have Moro avoid too, because Moro might have like nature running and other lessons that can't be done behind the walls. And then our animals, I think at this point I'm going to do pet hauling for Scorp and Sensu, and Silent Rider is basically retired. Silent Rider is a bonded pet and has so many health problems now. I don't want them like wandering off and getting harmed. But Scorpio just got trained in hauling, so they'll be our pet hauler. Dead Squall, thank you for the resub. I'll drink to that. There is one spot left to smooth out before I can switch the priorities around. Also, I just realized, Silver Knight, you have a poor SMG, but I have a better one right here, so I'm going to switch that out too. Ugh, now we're stuck with this stinky lady. Could you leave, please? God, bite scar, gunshot wounds, scree infection, heat stroke, ambrosia addiction. Aren't you a gem? So, I think what I'll do is have corn here. Please let me there we go. So, foods as low. So that the animals, haulers, can haul there, and then we just bring it into the freezer. Oh, I need to spread those out farther, I guess. Great. Drifters desire aid. They desire silver. Do we help? And if you're wondering about the drifters, there's a 9-year-old and a 50-year-old. They belong to a temporary faction. I could alternatively kill Martin and try to capture. So Martin is a psychopath, and the kid is a genie. a lazy genie, but a genie all the same. That is a possibility as well, depending on how you vote. Bedrooms are done. Took long enough. All right. Current priority is add power generation. So as far as power generation goes, I had intended to do wind, but I also realize there is geothermal geysers pretty close by. So I could pivot the research to do geothermal power as well. That's a possibility. Just want to point out. Oh, and what's her name left? That's good. She didn't, like, die on her way out. Okay, so we're definitely not helping. Do we arrest the child? The issue is I don't really have a prison for it, so, like, it would, same as what we had to do for Morrow, I would have to figure it out. Have, like, a temporary prison here, maybe. It's a nicer room, I guess. So the child is a lazy 9-year-old genie who believes in cannibalism. They belong to a temporary faction, so there isn't any faction consequences of it. Oh, and Greer and Electra are dead, probably. Well, Greer is dead. A 16-year-old hussar. Oh, dang. Well, that could have been a member, too. Well, I mean, I wouldn't betray their faction. So it looks like the yays have it. You guys say, don't trust this bloke with the security of this child. So I'm going to ready a force to liberate said child from an evil psychopath's... yeah, from an evil psychopath. So this is going to be a prison rather than a hospital bed. And, I'm going to initiate by arresting the kid. And adult's dead. That was SEAL Team 6 level execution right there. Orchestrated by a bunch of children. Freakishly efficient children. So, Gaken, you're going to be converted. Just blam blam, arrest, like nothing happened. Just unbelievable, honestly. It's scary. Alright, you are going to need a latrine. You are going to want a table. You're going to want a stool. You are going to desire a water source. And I'll put a bed there as well eventually. Okay, that's now the worst spot for charge plants. And then we'll probably also, and I know I'm overdue for the power gen, but we're going to want another bedroom. I don't know how fast they'll convert. But they are wimpy, so they should have a massive amount of trait loss. It should be pretty quick. And again, I am not going to leave the map tile until Gaken converts. because it wouldn't be fair to leave them with an inferior warden. So Witch is going to be here until they decide to join us. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Boundless Witch, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming stream. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, viewers like you that support the channel, and everyone that made it out to the marathon in show of support. I hope to catch you a next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors in the toxic wasteland.